Hello and welcome to another edition of Entrepreneur TV, where our business is all about your business. And on today's episode, I am super excited because I have got an amazing business. I tell you, I just don't know whether I've got enough time to go through everything that I would love to go through with this business. And I want to introduce you to Jonathan of Yorkshire Caravans and MOTs. Hello, nice to see you. I'm glad you've popped in.
That's great, yeah, no problem.
So, I want to talk a little bit about your journey, how you started, all about your business, and then at the end we'll have a bit of fun. How about that? No problem. So, your journey. Did you always have a love for, caravans and motorhomes, or is this something that you slipped into?
I sort of slipped into it by accident. I'm a lift and crane engineer by trade, and in 1999 I had an accident at work which put me off work for a year. I had to have 3 operations, and during the recovery period I was given an opportunity to get involved in the business, which I took with both hands because the boredom was killing me, and started working in the aftercare department and dealing with administration side of pre-delivery inspection sheets being put on the system and dealing with the occasional customer. And the guy I was working with, who was sort of technically my mentor, quit, and then I'm answering the phone, I'm booking customers. It just changed overnight, and it morphed into something bigger.
So that was the catalyst of it all. That's how you went from being into cranes to caravans.
Engineering background into the caravan industry, which is a pure accident.
That is actually really inspiring, because there'll be maybe other people who are sat at home and maybe they've had an injury, or they feel that they couldn't do something. I think that is a complete inspiration to say that you can do anything if you put your mind to it.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest problem at the time was I'd not computed what was happening, and the job that I was trained to do, I was working in the power industry with all the power stations as contractors, and due to the accident it wouldn't allow me to return. So after the recovery period was up, I still wasn't fit enough with the injuries I sustained to do that job. So I had to embrace the opportunity I had, is basically how it happened, and that's where I'm at.
And I think it's safe to say that you have helped grow this business. I mean, you're based at Bawtry near Doncaster, but just tell everybody how big this operation is.
Yeah, it's a large company. It's a 34-acre site. 17 acres of that is storage, and the rest is for the retail purposes and the repair side.
So that's quite a big operation you've got going. It's no small mean feat, is it? No. It's not just a few caravans on a little pitch. Yeah. You have got 34 acres. Wow. But it's started, I believe, in 1926, didn't it, the company?
Yeah, it started in 1926 in Sheffield by Percy Smith. Now, Percy was actually a car garage selling cars, and he was offered on a sale return basis some caravans from a company called Eccles, which are no longer trading. And so he said, why not? So he took on the sale returns and he sold them. And in 1926, I mean, they were a brand new thing, really. And he then decided in 1931 to buy the Bawtry site, and even in 1931 he was still doing the odd car. The Bawtry site was also a petrol station at the time.
Gosh.
And so it was selling petrol and cars, and obviously he then introduced caravans into Bawtry as well, and eventually ceased with the garage and he ceased with the cars, and he just concentrated on caravans.
Wow. And even throughout the war years and everything, it's got some pedigree, this business, hasn't it?
Yeah, it shut 1943 to 1945 and became an evacuee sorting centre for South Yorkshire. So the kids would be brought up by train to Doncaster, but then sent on a bus over to Bawtry. Then at Bawtry they were distributed all over Yorkshire for 2 years.
And now you get children of a different kind. Big children like me who love caravans and motorhomes, and the little ones who love coming with their families. What type of products do you sell there? Because I know, because I've seen, that you have an expansive collection. It's huge.
Yeah, as you come through the gate, you will see the motorhomes that are for sale and the camper vans are for sale. We try to cover as much as we can to cater for everybody's taste. Now, that is down to layout. So layouts sell caravans and motorhomes. Some people with motorhomes prefer 2 single beds, because they're bigger than having a double. It's more space, more comfortable for them. And so we try and cater for everybody's taste. Caravans too. Now, you might come to me as just a couple that want a 2-berth, so we have an abundance of 2 berths to look at. You might be a small family of 3, so you want a 4-berth, we've got 4 berths. You might be a big family of 6, we've got 6 berths, so we try and cater for everybody's needs.
I mean, this is the thing with caravans and motorhomes and that now. I mean, the choice is endless. You go around to, say, the NEC, and you go in them, and it's like, my goodness, it's got that now. I mean, where does it end?
Yeah, they've got to the point now where the last few years, I mean, the heating systems have come on a lot more than just the blow air heating system. It's a central heating system now. The Aldi central heating system is like incredible. And they are apartment on wheels, basically, whether you have a caravan or a motorhome, it's an apartment on wheels now. So, yeah, the standards leapt in the last 10 years to where it was. Far more comfortable. I
think the thing is as well, with the COVID years, I don't know, I think there was a sense of nostalgia with people, that they wanted a bit of something back. Have you seen an increase in uptake in caravans and motorhomes since COVID?
Yeah, massively. I mean, staycation holidays became the thing during the COVID years. And I think it was well needed in the industry. I think the industry needed some fresh blood, and it needed something to shout about, and COVID made that happen. I mean, as miserable as those days were of lockdown, a lot of families had the best family holidays that they could have, because they're spending time together in this country without the hassles of airports and queuing and all the rest of it, and they're discovering the land we live in.
I think that's the important thing, because, like, as many of you know, that I do the travel, and there are so many untapped, unspoilt, beautiful places in this country. I don't think half the people in this country have actually scratched the surface, have they?
No, they haven't. And the thing is, people are starting to do that. And I think, if you go up into the Dales, or you go into Scotland, or my favourite place in the country is North Wales.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you've got to see it to believe it. You really have. And I think having a motorhome or a caravan will give you that option, definitely. And the beauty of it is, traditionally, people might go on one holiday a year as a family to, like, Spain. The beauty of having a caravan and motorhome, you can go every weekend. So you do more time away as a family. It's far better.
I think as well is, like, when we look at the different locations you can go to, there is all sorts of possibilities, and people haven't, as I say, they haven't explored it, they haven't seen what they can do. But what if they don't want the full expense of maybe getting one, they're not sure it's for them? Would you suggest that they actually go and try and maybe hire one and see how they get on with it before they buy?
Yeah, we're just about to launch motorhome and camper rental, and the beauty of that is, you might not be able to spend that sort of money, but you can still experience it, and it'll not hit you hard in the pocket. We've got a fully trained staff who'll show you exactly what you need to do when you get to site and make it a flawless visit.
I think I know what's going to happen, though, Jonathan. They're going to get in one, and that's going to be on their wish list, isn't it?
Hopefully, yeah.
Now, with regards to your business, I've been around many different places that do caravans, motorhomes, even marinas and everything. And I can say, quite hand on heart, that your operation is next level. Your customer service goes far beyond than just giving someone the keys and going, there you go.
Yeah, well, we want to offer you the one-stop shop. So, if you want to buy one, we want to sell you one, no doubt. You got a problem with one, we want to fix it. You crash one, we want to repair it. So we want to be the one-stop shop. You want a new awning? Come and see us. We've got the largest awning display in the country. You can actually see the awnings up on display. You're not buying off a brochure. You can actually see what they are. You can touch them. You can feel the quality. It's a far better shopping experience than what it is elsewhere.
Now, people even come just to your business just for a bit of a day out, don't they?
Yeah, we've got a licensed restaurant on site, which is phenomenal food. Always busy, and you can come for the day out. You can eat, drink, you can browse. There's lots to see.
It's got a good shop as well for all the bits that you might want to go into one of these.
Yeah, we will sell you everything. I mean, we have people coming to us who don't have motorhomes and caravans and still buy a load of outside chairs. You know what I mean? We have something for everybody, yeah, without doubt.
Also, what else I loved is that you really give information to people. So I know that winterisation is of particular importance to vehicles, etc. And I like the way that even your website even gives people that information to help them.
Yeah, well, I want it to be, like I said, the one-stop shop. We're here for you, for anything to do with your product that we can help you with. Draining off for winter is massively important, even if you're caravanning through the winter. Frost damage is expensive, and on caravans and motorhomes, you've got to protect it for that. It's a simple way of dealing with it. And if you know what you're doing, once you've done it, you've done it.
The other thing that's great about your business is the level of storage that you have and what you do for those storage customers, because again, you go above and beyond. I know many people just like a bit of a clean, like to make sure the old van's looking in good shape, but you can make sure that they can get even on the roof where other companies don't offer that service.
Yeah, well, when we put the storage wash facility together, we had to look at what you need to do the job properly, and the easiest way of doing it. So we put a staircase in it and a landing to clean roofs of motorhomes and caravans. There's no point in washing your caravan front, back and sides if your roof's green, because when it rains it'll be filthy again the following as soon as it's rained again. So your options are there. Also on the wash facility there's a tyre machine to check your air. We also have a tap for running water, so if you want to fill up your water supplies in your caravans and motorhomes before you go, feel free. It's, everything's there you need.
Tell me about the chill zone.
The chill zone is unique. So if you're in a position where you might live in a cul-de-sac, so you can't take your caravan home to load it, so the chill zone's there. It's a free of charge facility. You plug in your caravan or motorhome into the chill zone. It will charge your leisure battery and chill your fridge down to temperature. You can then turn up to site with an Asda bag full of goodies and put them straight in the fridge, and you're ready to go. It's as simple as that. It just makes it so you can actually pick your van up with a chilled fridge, which for a majority of people who haven't got the ability to get the caravan on the drive, it's a valuable asset.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt, because I mean they're the type of things that people need, and you are there to service that need.
That's right. Yeah.
Now, with regards to your customer service, you need a really good team behind you. How do you manage that as a business?
I think the biggest challenge for any business is having the right people. And over the years, we've opened up different doorways and needed to put a body in that doorway to make it work. It's been a long process. I've been at the business, a long time, 25 years. And the team I've got at the moment is the best in the business, without doubt. The aftercare team, they know what they're doing. The sales team, they know exactly what they're doing. On top of that, I've got the best management team the industry could offer. So I'm very lucky in the respect of the people I've got are fully capable of conquering every demand you have.
Now, there are many businesses out there and they are tightening the old purse strings. And with that, again, it seems to be the customer service side of it lacks, but you seem to be bucking the trend and upping the customer service. Do you think that's where some businesses are missing a trick?
I think you've got to offer aftercare. Issues need to be addressed, massively important. So the way I look at it is I don't want anybody being dissatisfied at all.
No.
And if there's any chance that we can sort the issue out and make it go away, then we'll do that. Our teams are trained to make sure that whatever problem you've got, we can put it right for you. As simple as that. There is some times when we have to advise you that you might not be aware you've got a problem. But if we do a service on a van and you could have issues with either your tyres or something like that, we like to make sure that when your van leaves, or caravan or motorhome leaves our premises, you have a full prognosis of it. So if there's anything that's coming up you need to be aware of, not that you have to pay now, but like in 6 months' time you're going to need X, Y and Z, we'd like to give you the heads up.
Oh, that's lovely, because do you know what? It actually shows that you care as a business for your customers.
It's important to care, though, because your customers are your bread and butter, and so you've got to make sure that you're doing everything you can to make sure it's working.
And you must make some real lifelong friendships. People who've maybe had a caravan a few years before and then they want to upgrade, and it's looking after them, isn't it?
Yeah, I've met quite a lot of people over the years, and a lot of them won't go anywhere else.
No.
They come to me, and they come to me personally as well, which can be difficult at times because I'm so busy doing other things, but I always make sure that they get looked after.
Now, you do have fast turning stock, and that's one of your good things, that your business is that it keeps busy and it's always turning over stock. How do you keep up that good relationship with your suppliers?
Well, we have a good relationship with all the manufacturers that we sell for. We've got Adria new motorhomes for sales and Bailey new motorhome for sales. So it's constant contact, simple as that. We're in contact with them weekly. They have our sales figures weekly. It helps them premeditate product launches when we get it. We also negotiate early product launches if we can. If we have a promotion and we haven't got those models in stock, they will lend us those models, so we've got something to show people on promotion. We have a good relationship. It's all about that.
And that's nice, isn't it? Because, you've also been able to extend your business to even doing more e-commerce, online sales now, haven't you?
Yeah, I think most businesses should do that. We've been in, since before COVID, we've been pushing that side of it. We also, for the storage customer, they can do a click and collect, which is if you're coming to pick your caravan up, you can buy your product, it's in a bag and we'll hand it to you at the door as you're leaving. So these little touches make the difference.
They do make the difference, and I think it also makes the difference as well for the community that you live in, because Doncaster, big place, nice place, and I think for you to have a business like that, it's about pride of the local area as well, isn't it, with what
definitely.
You're doing?
Yeah, it's Bawtry is a thriving little town in Doncaster area, and we're not actually in the thick of this high street. Obviously, we're just on the outskirts, but with the size of the site we have, it sort of works out fine for us. Yeah.
Now, industry trends. Where do you see it going? What would you like to see if Jonathan here was designing a caravan or a motorhome? Is there anything that you'd love to say, I'd love to see that in vans? That's
a difficult question. Again, it's all catering for taste. The manufacturers, for the product, they're obsessive. They do a lot of research at NEC, speaking to people, getting feedback. Like the simple thing like a heated towel rail only came in a few years ago.
Really?
It's what customers wanted in the bathroom, is a heated towel rail. So the manufacturers went, okay. And I think that the customer feedback is massively important. And all the UK manufacturers are really keen to get their product in front of people and allow them to dissect it. But the heated towel rail was revolutionary.
Any other gadget in there that's like, I like
the
that?
heating system as well. The heating system going from blow air heating. Blow air heating was fine, and it did the job. But it's nothing compared to the current system. The Swift system will actually allow you to set your thermostat on your mobile phone, so you can be in a pub, and it can go from being freezing cold to slinging it down with snow, and you think, you go on your phone, you can turn your heating up. Incredible technology.
That is absolutely unreal.
Yeah.
What will they think of next?
Well, that's the thing. What will they think of next?
So I just want to look a little bit more about you now. you know, your own personal reflections. I mean, there you were, you had the accident, and to now, you must be a little bit pinch yourself moment proud with what you've achieved.
If I have time, I maybe will pinch myself at some point. But I'm just completely flat out constantly. I look at my life and think I think you come into life, and I think at times in your life, I think everybody will come to a crossroads, and you're thinking, how's this going to go? Luckily, I took the right turn.
Yeah.
So mine went the right way. I am proud of the business. It is the risks that I've taken over the years. At the time, was big risks, and in the middle of lockdown, I decided to turn a 10-acre field into an additional storage area, which cost us best part of £500,000. And then literally within 2 or 3 months, lockdown hit, and none of us really knew what was going to happen in lockdown. It could have gone the opposite way. And I actually started questioning myself whether I'd made the right decision. I'm making these massive payments out for aggregate, 16,000 tonnes of granite, and you know, the 8,000 tonnes of plane-ins, I'm thinking, Christ, you know, and we're not selling anything because we're in lockdown. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So there's no money coming into the business. And then we opened it, I think it was 2021, and it started to put a few vans on. And then within 12 months, it was full. Over 1,000 units. So
you've got a bit of courage, pardon my expression for this, but
I don't know if it's courage or just sheer madness. Because at the time I thought we need this, and then when something like lockdown happens, which is not in control of anybody, it just occurs. You know, the government tell us we're doing this.
Yeah.
I then start to think, I didn't expect that. Well, nobody did they really?
No, it's a very bleak, different time. But I mean, pardon the expression, but you really had balls with that.
Yeah, well, we've spent £1.6 million on improvements in the last 6 years.
That's a lot.
But we're trying to maximise the opportunity for the customer.
And I can imagine, you know, people coming back to your business after lockdown and driving on and seeing this newness. I think that must have really given them a boost as well.
I think it's interesting though, because our site's 1931. Our buildings are actually older. So, we've got some new buildings up now. Don't get me wrong, we've got a handover facility. So when you pick a new caravan or motorhome, you have a professional handover in a studio which is heated, so it can be terrible weather outside. But you're in a heated studio having your handover in a nice environment. It's a nice retail experience, and it doesn't matter what the weather's doing, it can't ruin it. Well, years ago, you know, we'll give you a cup of tea in a cardboard cup, and we'd take you around your caravan. You know, there's not a lot of love there, is there? So we decided to put a handover facility up. But yeah, we need to keep it looking. We just had the whole site tarmacked, and it was a fortune. It's black gold. It costs a fortune, but it looks brand new, and it's good now for at least the next 30, 40 years. But it looks incredible, and it's all about appearances for me, if I'm honest. It's got to look like it's doing the business. You're
a bit of a perfectionist. Come on, tell us.
Yeah, and you know what? That don't come cheap.
No.
And I think that anybody who's been coming to Yorkshire Caravans over the years will have seen the massive change.
Yeah.
And people come up to me and say, "My God, what's going on?" And I'm like, "I know." But if it's needed, it's needed. It's as simple as that, it's needed.
But at the heart of it, it still feels like family.
Yeah.
It's not gone so corporate. Do you know what I mean?
I don't want it to. I want you to feel that you're comfortable. You know, we've got salespeople, like Debbie, she's been with me 25 plus years, and she's like everybody's best friend. You know, if you're popping in for gas, Debbie's talking to you, even though she might have sold you your last 6 caravans.
Yeah.
You know, I want you to feel like you're coming home. You know, you're coming to people you know, you're coming to a team you can trust. That's my ambition, is that people are that comfortable to come to us from the simplest things like a gas bottle or buying a huge motorhome. We're here for everybody.
You treat everybody the same, with the same respect,
yeah,
isn't
exactly
it?
the same.
Now, about you, because I know that when you do get a little bit of spare time, you love a bit of drumming, don't you?
Yeah, I've been playing drums in live bands for 32 years.
Wow.
And I've just done 2 gigs this weekend, and you know what? It's the best release ever for me. Doesn't matter what's happening in life. If I'm doing a show, I'm quite happy.
Come on, name drop the band so everybody knows.
The band's 90s music experience. It's a Leeds-based outfit, and we do the best of the 90s. We're on YouTube if you want to check us out. We've supported Scouting for Girls a couple of times. We've supported Boy Band 5. We supported Fleur East, the Uziers. So we get dragged into a lot of large events because our set will get you on the dance floor. We've just done Haywood House in Leeds in front of 6,500 people. Woo-hoo. We closed that festival for them. Yeah, it's just a passion, and it'll never die for me. And
as somebody who sort of, especially went raving in the 90s, all over the place, I can safely say the 90s were a darn good decade, wasn't it?
It was a different era, definitely.
It definitely from to now,
wasn't it? There was some research on the internet recently that said in the 90s there was over 180 active bands in the record industry, and that's plummeted now. Everybody's a solo artist, and it's like the numbers are shocking. The live band format is currently not in a good condition. It's not. It's all about the solo artists. You know, the Taylor Swifts, the Beyoncés, the people are dominating the charts. Where, I mean, the Oasis reunion that's just happened is pricked people's ears up because again, there's not live bands out there.
Now, and as someone went to see them 2 or 3 times, I can safely say it was good.
Yeah.
But you know, I think this is the thing: is that you have managed to have a successful business, but also successful in your own personal life as well.
Yeah. Do you know what? I started on marching bands as a kid, on drums, and in 1986 I did a marching drums competition at the Royal Albert Hall in London, and Princess Anne was watching.
Aye.
And
royalty.
As I migrated into my teenage years, I then adapted the snare drum to a drum kit, and then I just went from there. And I don't understand, but it's never left me.
And that's good, because you know, some things are ingrained in you to give you a passion project and something that you love doing as well. But my final question, I know, boo, I'm really enjoying it. My final question is if you were Prime Minister for the day, I know, especially with the current one, what would you do? What would you change? What would be the one thing that you could do? Maybe for your industry or something else?
Prime Minister for the day.
You could change one thing, Jonathan.
Do you know what? That is the hardest question I've ever been asked. That's a difficult one.
That ban mobile phones from gigs like it was in the 90s.
Yeah. I don't know, you know. The thing is, the way the country's being run, I don't think anybody is particularly happy.
No.
Right, and I can say that not just in the current Prime Minister, but in previous Prime Ministers everywhere. Everybody's very opinionated on politics, and I think the problem with it is, you know, the changes hit people hard. And for me, I would look after our own if I was Prime Minister for the day. So this thing, they're just capping all this free fuel energy for the old people and all the rest of it. Do you know something? That would be nailed on.
Yeah.
I would look after the old people.
I'm with you on that one.
I wouldn't be taking money off people who can't afford it.
No.
I'd be making sure that, you know, people live a standard that is acceptable.
You know what they've got to do, don't you, Jonathan? They have got to give the same customer service level as you do with your business.
Yeah, well, I'd like to say that.
He should come to visit your operation for a day, and I think he might just change his mind of how things should be done.
But I think you need to look after your own. I think that is a definite thing we don't do. And I think that's really sad. It's like when you see like war veterans, you know, people who've actually potentially give their life to the service of this country. You know, they're living in terrible conditions. It's wrong.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
wrong. So yeah, look after our own. That's the one thing I would do.
Well, Jonathan, it's been an absolute pleasure. And
Thank
I know
you.
next time I'm going past Doncaster, I might just pop in for the day
Pop in
and have
for
a bit of fun in your vans.
Pop in for a bit of Yorkshire tea.
Yeah,
look after
oh, most definitely Yorkshire tea and cake. I'm there. I'm
Yeah, we
sold.
can sort that out, yeah.
Sold. Thank you very
you.
much.
Nice to meet you.